Cereal time, cereal time, cereal time, whoa.
There's a big snake in the plate!
Why did it have to be snakes?
What's up, cereal heads? Today we're going to talk about Indiana Jones cereal. This cereal was released by Kellogg's back in 2008 as a tie-in to the fourth Indiana Jones film, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And as you can hear, this is a full unopened box from 10 years ago.
That belongs in a museum!
Does it though? Really? It's just a box of cereal. And besides, there's no such thing as cereal museums. I think I would know, Junior.
Don't call me Junior.
But that's your name, Dr. Henry Walton Jones, Jr. The dog was named Indiana.
Got a lot of fond memories of that dog.
Cool, so can you stop interrupting me now so we can get on to this?
Don't get cocky!
That's not even the same franchise. Alright, enough of you, Harrison. Let's move on. Now, I'm not going to talk about the entire Indiana Jones franchise because I'm sure you're already familiar with that. And if you're not, well, you should stop this video and go watch all 3 films right now. What's that? 4 films? I guess that's true, but no one needs to watch Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. In fact, even the makers of this cereal knew that it was an inferior film. As you can see here on the front of the box, they have Indiana Jones, but it's a picture of Harrison Ford from the poster of Raiders of the Lost Ark, a much better Indiana Jones film. Even the bowl here on the box looks like one of the fake grails they would have used in Last Crusade, another much better Indiana Jones film. And while we're talking about the box art here, if you follow Cereal Time on Instagram, you might remember this bowl from a mock-up I did of Goonies cereal. I figured thematically Indiana Jones was the closest thing we got to Goonies. Still bummed we never got a cereal for Goonies. Anyway, this limited edition Indiana Jones cereal was basically just Cocoa Puffs with Indiana Jones themed marbits. It shows you what these marbits are right here on the top of the box. You have a crystal skull, a torch, Indy's hat, and the Temple of Akator. On the side of the box here, Kellogg's advertises for other Indiana Jones tie-in products that were released around the same time, including printed Pop-Tarts and fruit snacks. They pushed this Kingdom of the Crystal Skull movie really, really hard. In fact, they even include Indiana Jones tie-ins to other Kellogg cereal at the time.
That was close. If what you seek is this delicious part of a complete breakfast, first you might want a spoon. You can find one of 3 Indiana Jones spoons in specially marked boxes while supplies last. It's time to eat.
Seems kind of weird they wouldn't include one of those cool light-up spoons inside this cereal box too. On the back of the box here, they feature an adventure game, though I don't think this really qualifies as a game. You just follow the flow chart to see where you end up. There are multiple good and bad endings. And then on the bottom here, they just promote the movie. Most thrilling adventure yet. Come on, really?
You son of a bitch.
Hey man, I'm just being honest. Anyway, let's open up this box and take a look at the cereal. So here's what a bowl of Indiana Jones cereal from 2008 looks like. You can see the marbits are pretty shriveled and disfigured. Not sure how much better they looked 10 years ago. And the chocolate puff pieces aren't as dark in color as like Cocoa Puffs, but maybe they were 10 years ago, who knows. But here are the 4 marbits. You got a crystal skull, a torch to go exploring those caves. They don't include a whip, but you got Indy's hat here. And finally, an orange triangle, also known as the Temple of Akator. Now, I've seen a handful of videos on YouTube recently where people look at things magnified, so let's do that and take a closer look at this cereal. So here's the crystal skull marbit. Let's go in for a closer look. Ooh, you can see all the detail here. Kinda gross. And here's one of the chocolate Cocoa Puff pieces. Let's go in for a little closer look at that. Look at how porous these things are. You can see where the milk gets into these pieces. Cool. So anyway, I wasn't a big fan of this cereal when it came out back in 2008. It wasn't horrible, I just think some cereals go better with marbits than others. I feel like oat cereals like Lucky Charms are a perfect pairing with marbits. And even though the first ingredient of this stuff is oat flour, the addition of corn flour makes these things crunchier, puffier, airier than normal oat cereal. I guess I just feel like corn puff based cereals and flake based cereals, they shouldn't add marbits to the mix. Oat cereals and frosted rice check cereals like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Spider-Man cereal, those are the kinds that are elevated by adding marbits. And before I go, let me just apologize for ragging on the last Indiana Jones movie. It's not terrible. It just pales in comparison to the other Indiana Jones films. It seems like all the newer Indiana Jones tie-ins were not as good as the original older ones. For example, one of my favorite pinball machines of all time was the 1993 Williams Indiana Jones Classic. I don't have any pinball machines, but I have digital versions of classic machines that I really enjoy playing. It's the next best thing to the real machine. But then in 2008, Stern released another Indiana Jones pinball machine, and even though this one had more bells and whistles, I felt like it wasn't as good as the 1993 version. Now, maybe that's just me being a grumpy old man and having nostalgia for things I grew up with. But I do kind of hope we never see another Indiana Jones movie, even if that means we'll never get another Indy cereal. It's a classic film franchise that doesn't need a reboot, remake, or another sequel. In fact, I think it belongs in a museum. Alright, well that's all I got for Indiana Jones cereal. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, stay crunchy.
This should be in a museum.
You're right, I agree with you.